And welcome to Facts or Frauds.
Hello, can I have your name, please?
My name is Daniel Magoo.
Okay, just a moment. Okay, you said your last name is pronounced Magoo?
Yes, ma'am.
And generally speaking, I appoint the public defender's office to represent at least at the arraignment stage, but I was informed that you didn't want to speak with the public defender, so are you intending to represent yourself for the arraignment?
I'm here to figure out what the charges are. What am I being charged with?
Now calling case number 25S00289. This is the state of Michigan versus Daniel Ryan Magoo. Can you please state your name for the record?
I'm trying to figure out what the charge is.
Yes, that is the purpose of the hearing today. So, as
Who's
part
the complaining victim?
as part of the proceedings, can I have you please state your name for the record?
My name is Daniel Magoo,
Okay.
and I am
thank
not
you.
a surety of the state. I'm not a ward of the state.
Okay.
Can I ask what the charges are?
Yes, I am getting there. Please give me a moment. So, what we are here for today is an arraignment. The purpose of an arraignment is to inform you what you are being charged with and to make sure that you understand the charges. I am not going to be asking if you agree with the charges. I am not even going to be asking if you understand why you are being charged with them. The purpose is to make sure that you understand what the charges mean and that you understand what the potential maximum penalties are. So, what I have here is a misdemeanor complaint that charges that on or about or between the dates of February 15th, 2025 and June 23rd, 2025 at McKean Lot 72. You did maliciously use a service provided by a telecommunications service provider with the intent to terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, annoy, or disturb the peace and quiet of Alyssa McCloskey, an individual with whom you have a child in common, by using any vulgar, indecent, obscene, or offensive language, or suggesting any lewd or lascivious act in the course of a conversation or message through the use of a telecommunications service or device. This is otherwise known as malicious use of a telecommunications service. Do you understand what the charge means?
I do not understand that. I do not understand malicious use
Let
of a
me
telephone
rephrase.
service.
Do you comprehend that what I am saying is that you allegedly maliciously used a telecommunications service device that would generally be a cell phone. I suppose it could also be a computer or something else
No, that
you
didn't
could
happen.
use. Okay. And
February,
again, as
what were the
stated,
dates? What dates?
between February 15th and June 23rd
Of this
of
year?
this year. Yes. Okay. Now, as I stated at the beginning, I'm not asking you if you agree with the charges. I'm not asking you if you understand why you are being charged with them. What I want to know, basically, is do you know what the words coming out of my mouth mean?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No.
Okay. So the way that this is going to work is this. If I am not able to arraign you on the charges because I can't tell if you understand what I am saying, then the next thing that happens is that you get referred for a competency evaluation. At this point, I do not know how long that will take, and that means that you will stay where you are until we are able to either arraign you or you are determined to be incompetent.
So I don't have, I'm not like I said before, I'm not a surety. I'm not a ward. I'm actually a protected individual, and I did no crime. There has been no body of a crime, no corpus delicti. I have committed no crime at all.
Mr. Magoo. If I cannot determine whether or not you can understand what you're being charged with, then I cannot arraign you.
Okay,
So,
if there is not a body of a crime, if I have not harmed anybody, then you can't arraign me. It's corpus delicti. It can't happen. And if you do try to enter in a plea of competency or I don't know what is that? What you're gonna hold me here hostage until what? A body of a crime happens? When is the crime gonna happen?
okay. So, Mr. Magoo, we will not be proceeding today with the arraignment. You are free to go to the door and tell the jail that you are finished. Thank you. Now calling 25S00289. This is the state of Michigan versus Daniel Ryan Magoo. Mr. Magoo, can you state your name for the record, please?
Daniel Magoo.
Okay. Before we get started, will you be accepting Attorney Moten's representation for the purposes of this arraignment?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to do this in a slightly different order than I usually do. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say out loud or in writing can be used against you in court. You have the right to be presumed innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by judge or by jury. You have the right to be represented by an attorney during all stages of these court proceedings, that is before, during, and after trial. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to you. And again, we do have Attorney Moten here who can represent you at least for the purposes of this arraignment. Lastly, you are not required to disclose citizenship status to the court, but you do have the right to consult with an attorney to see if this case would have any effect on your citizenship status. If that last part doesn't apply to you, then you don't need to worry about it. So, do you have any questions about your rights?
Who would I talk to about my citizen status?
An attorney. So you can talk to Attorney Moten about it, or you can retain counsel.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now, we are here today for an arraignment on the following. What I have is a misdemeanor complaint. So this is alleging that you would stand accused of the following offenses that occurred in Ypsilanti Township on or about or between the dates of February 15th, 2025 through June 23rd, 2025. The location being lot 72. Count 1, charges that you did maliciously use a service provided by a telecommunications service provider with the intent to terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, annoy, or disturb the peace and quiet of Alyssa McCloskey, an individual with whom you have a child in common, by using any vulgar, indecent, obscene, or offensive language, or suggesting any lewd or lascivious act in the course of a conversation or message through the use of a telecommunications service or device. This is, again, a misdemeanor. It has a maximum penalty of up to 6 months in jail, a $1,000 fine plus court costs, or both the jail time and the fine. Count 2, charges that you did maliciously use a service provided by a telecommunications service provider with the intent to terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, annoy, or disturb the peace and quiet of Scott McCloskey by using any vulgar, indecent, obscene, or offensive language, or suggesting any lewd or lascivious act in the course of a conversation or message through the use of a telecommunications service or device. Again, this is known as malicious use of a telecommunications service. It is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of up to 6 months in jail, a $1,000 fine plus court costs, or both the jail time and the fine. So, you understand that you are currently standing accused of 2 separate counts of malicious use of telecommunication services.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Attorney Moten, do you want to address the plea and the bond?
Yes, Ashley Martin on behalf of Mr. Magoo, who will stand mute to the charges. Mr. Magoo presents himself today in a much better space than he was last week. We discussed the bond conditions. He has no issues with any of them. I did see on the prosecutor's bond form, they're asking for a monetary bond and a tether. I believe both is pretty excessive for this charge. He hasn't had any issues, or there haven't been any reports about having any contact or physical contact with either of these complaining witnesses. There are pending civil cases for false police reports regarding these matters. He is in custody at least until the 17th for other pending charges. We are requesting a nominal bond so he can get jail credit that will convert to a personal bond if he is released on those other cases. If the court finds that a tether is necessary, then we understand that. But however, I believe both is pretty excessive. So we are requesting either the tether or a nominal bond that'll convert to a personal bond. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. The court will set a pretrial conference date that will be July 21st, 2025. That will be at 9 in the morning over Zoom in front of Judge Washington. The court will set bond with the following conditions. You are not to use or possess alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, other dangerous weapons, or the means to create them. Any weapons that you do possess are to be surrendered. You are not to leave the state of Michigan without the court's permission. Within 24 hours of your release, you are to report to community corrections for drug and alcohol testing. You will need $12 and a photo ID. You are not to have contact with Alyssa McCloskey or Scott McCloskey. When the court says no contact, what the court means is the following. You are not to have in-person contact, no contact through the mail, no contact over the computer or phone or other telecommunications service or device via phone calls, text messages, emails, social media, the internet in any way, shape, or form, or through third parties. You are not to go to that McKean address. When the court says do not go, the court does not care. If you own a place, rent a place, or are personally invited to go to a place, do not go. You are not to engage in any sort of assaultive, threatening, harassing, terrorizing, molesting, or stalking behaviors towards Alyssa McCloskey or Scott McCloskey or anyone else. You are not to engage in any sort of criminal activity whatsoever. You are to appear for any and all dates set for you by the court, the next one in this matter being that July 21st pretrial at 9 in the morning over Zoom. These conditions will be, that also means going to community corrections as directed. These conditions will be entered into the Law Enforcement Information Network. They will be readily accessible to any police officers that you may come into contact with. And if they have probable cause to believe that you have violated one of these conditions, they can arrest you on the spot and you'll be held for a bond violation hearing in front of a judge who may revoke your bond and set a new, more restrictive one. At this time, the court is going to set a $10,000 cash or surety bond. 10% is allowed. Mr. Magoo, do you have any questions about anything I've just said?
The bond meaning can I not be released until that bond is paid? Or is it if I violate, I have to? How does that work?
So at this time, it's a $10,000 bond. You can post $1,000 to be released. But my understanding is that there are other matters keeping you in custody at the moment.
So you're saying that if even if I cleared up all the other matters, unless I post $1,000 from the 10% of the 10,000 that I'm stuck in custody ultimately indefinitely, unless I post $1,000.
Currently, yes, that can be readdressed at your next court date, though, on the 21st.
That is really intangible. I would just really request a smaller bond, being that there's pending civil cases against these people for malicious use of law enforcement, and false reporting in federal court.
Thank you, Mr. Magoo. And I can appreciate that. I can also appreciate the that there was a bench warrant issued for failure to appear out of the 22nd Circuit Court. So bond is set for two reasons. One is to ensure your appearance at future court dates. All right. So at this time, bond is what it is. You can certainly request that it be modified either through a motion prior to your next court date or at the next court date. But your hearing is concluded at this point. You are free to go to the door and tell the jail that you are finished.
Thank you, Ashley.
Sir, in the jail, can you please, I think they're working on it right now. Tell us your first and last name. We don't know who you are.
Your Honor, I'm here on special appearance. I'm Daniel Magoo.
All right, thank you. All right, we're gonna put you in a breakout room with your attorney, Mr. Magoo. Did you take us off live? We'll call the case of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Magoo, case number 25S00289.
Tiffany Woods from People. Allison Muller here on behalf of Daniel Magoo. Mr. Magoo, can you go ahead and state your name once you're unmuted, please?
Good morning, Daniel Magoo.
Thank you. Good morning. All right, we're here today for a pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor. I met with Mr. Magoo last week at the jail, and we talked about our plan for this case and on his other matters that are in circuit court. I believe Mr. Magoo's next court date on those is going to be September 4th. I know they're having a bond hearing. So if we could ask for an adjournment, Your Honor, we just want to see what happens there and kind of talk further about what we plan to do on this case.
September 15th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Bond is continued. We'll see you then, sir, okay?
Thank you very much.
You have a good day.
Sir, until we meet in court, I say good day.
All right, the court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Magoo, case number 25S00289.
Tiffany Woods for the People.
Allison Muller here on behalf of Daniel Magoo. Mr. Magoo, can you please state your name?
Good afternoon, Daniel Magoo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Magoo. All right. We're here for an adjourned pretrial in this case.
Yes, Your Honor. After talking with Mr. Magoo, I do have a request of the court, and we had conversations with Mr. Magoo about this, but basically what's happening, I understand there was an attorney breakdown with his felony attorney from my office and him on his felony matter. So he's just recently been reassigned to Mr. Drukas. Mr. Magoo today is requesting that my office withdraw from this case, also given the same reasons, and what he thinks might be our inability to work together, and also his preference that Mr. Drukas handle all of his matters. I let him know it doesn't necessarily work like that, and unless he's, stating there's an attorney-client breakdown, then the court might not grant that. But I did want the court to know that that is his request.
Is there an attorney-client relationship breakdown or no?
Your Honor, we've only been adjourning at this point because we thought that the global resolution might be possible. I still think that's possible. I think I'm able to represent him and obtain a global if it is possible. And if at one point we learn that it's not, then I'll certainly transition into trying to resolve this matter. So from my stance, there's not an attorney-client breakdown. And I did indicate that, well, Mr. Work spoke with Mr. Magoo and indicated that. But I understand it's still Mr. Magoo's request for our office to be taken off. And so he asked that I address it to the court. And again, we've explained to him that it probably will not be granted unless he's claiming attorney-client breakdown, which I'm not sure if he is or is not.
Ms. Woods?
Judge, I'm trying to look through my notes. I don't see that anyone's requested a global offer. I'm more than happy to see if that's something we can do. I know this has been being adjourned based on his other felony cases. We did place a plea offer on the record. That was back in July. And then it's just been being adjourned to see what happens with his felony case. No one's ever come for a global or requested us to work out anything other than waiting to see what happens to the felony. Like, I guess they assumed it was going to be dismissed or not go to preliminary exam. I'm not sure.
Ms. Woods, I'm sorry if you weren't included in any emails. His attorney with my office, Alex Warren Green, was, I believe, coordinating with the prosecutor at the felony stage. And if there was a global, I hopefully would have included this, but I'll certainly reach out to you directly about the global.
I know that an argument was made on his behalf back in September 15th, along with everything that the prosecutor just said, for a bond reduction, which I granted at the request of his counsel at that time. And as you have indicated, Ms. Moeller, defendant indigent is not able to determine who their attorney is going to be. That is assigned based on the assignment office. And at this point in time, if you're saying there's not a breakdown, I'm not understanding. He doesn't get to just say that this attorney, he wants to have the same attorney. That's not how that works, Mr. Magoo. Is there something you wanted to say, sir?
It was in reference to the global resolution that I apparently the prosecuting attorney, Ms. Woods, has not received anything on. I just thought it would be, I thought having Alex and also Ms. Moeller representing me in both of my cases would have some kind of cohesive approach, but being that there was a breakdown in my felony case with the public defender's office, I just wanted to really simplify things and reduce the confusion with, obviously there's a confusion with who's messaging who on the global resolution. So I just thought it would be simpler and better for me.
Thank you. I can appreciate you thinking that, but that's not how it works, unfortunately, sir. So what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to continue counsel as counsel is. Ms. Moeller, when we come back the next time, you should have had communications with everybody as to what's going on with the global resolution, including his new attorney. Is that Mr. Drukas?
It is, Your Honor, and that's set for this week, I believe tomorrow.
I'll put this over to October 16th. That's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
October 16th, 2025 at 9:00 a.m. And hopefully we have a global resolution by then. The bond will be continued, as I said it last time. He has a 1,010% on this. I'm not sure what's going on the other matter, but he has a GPS tether if he's released on this case, which he can be.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And then on this one, I need more than 20 stickers when you get a chance.
Come on, Charlie, and let's get on with the grand tour.
And thanks for hanging out with us on Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, you're subscribed, and ring that bell. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And a major thank you to every one of our Facts or Frauds channel members. If If you'd like to become a member, just hit that join button right next to subscribe or click on the link in the description. And if you're still hanging out, thank you. I appreciate you all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and ring that bell. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you'd like to become a member, you can do that too. Till next time, I'll see you soon.